how very rude of people. I am trying to film and the lawn care people are here, and then there's people outside of my house just sitting in their car blaring their crappy music. So if you can hear that, I'm really sorry. Nothing I can do. We're just gonna have to roll with it, right? Right. You know what's one of my like silly YouTube pet peeves is when people like show something and they're like, "Oh, sorry, it's so dirty." Like, don't apologize. That just means you're using it. Month 2 with this thing. Yeah, February flew by, but it's the shortest month. I know it's leap year though. Happy leap year. I'm filming this on February 28th so that hopefully it can either maybe go up tonight or tomorrow at the latest. But yeah, I am excited. This is interesting. I really loved the Lorac Mega Pro 4 that I did. And I do really love this palette. I'm glad that I picked it. However, there are, like, not even just the color story, there are just vast differences between the two in like formulas and how they blend and you know how things are like pressed into the pan and things like that. So it's just kind of funny that I thought I knew what I was getting into since I did the Pro 4, but like this is just, it seems like such a different palette, but not mad at it though. So before we get into it, let's take a look back at what this was looking like last month. Okay, are you ready? 2 months of usage. Okay, so the 3 empty pans, cream, fawn, and white. We all know that in last month's video, I talked about frankening them together to just make like my all over lid setting shade. And I did that, and it's in its own little pan. I have it here. And so when I first did it, all 3 of those shades filled this rectangle pan like completely. And then I ended up hitting pan in it, and so I repressed it again. I should have pictures like rolling across the screen somewhere. But now this is what that is looking like. This is gonna go by so quickly, and that's fine. That will be 3 shades down. I'm very excited about it. I use this to set my eye primer like all over my lid. And then if I get a little crazy with like colors and they just look a little stark, then I use this to like soften them and like blend out the edges. So that's why these shades I think go by so quickly for me. But I'm really happy that I pressed it all, you know, together to make like one shadow. I think it's just working really well that way. So changes to this guy. We now have pan in khaki. I know I said I wanted that as a goal last month, and I didn't think that I was gonna hit it, but khaki has been my like daily go-to like initial transition color, and it's just such this, it's like the perfect cool tone brown, and it really goes with everything. I know that sounds funny because even like you would think like, okay, it's only gonna go with cool tones, but no, like you can wear it as your transition shade even with like warm tones, at least I think, like in my opinion. So I'm really happy about that. I'm tempted to just keep using it because it's so easy. However, the mattes in here are much more hard pressed than in that Lorac Mega Pro 4. Like that's one of the things like I was trying to get at, you know, before, like earlier. Because the mattes in that Mega Pro 4, I felt like I whipped through them almost as quickly as the shimmer shades. This palette, no, that is not going to be the case. There's so much more hard pressed in there. So I'm almost tempted to lay it off, like cool it on khaki and move to a different, like, you know, just play around more with some of the mattes and find like maybe another everyday transition shade, because I could see brown here working, and then I could see camel and sepia up here working as like daily like go-to transition shades. And I think that's my plan, because I want to try to have as much pan on those mattes before I actually start focusing in and like finishing some of them off, just because they are so hard to like hit pan on. Hopefully that makes sense. So we also now have a pretty nice dip in Opal. I don't know if you'll be able to tell though, because Opal is like, it's this really pretty, like white looking shade, but it does have like a gold reflect to it. So hopefully you'll be able to see it. It's so pretty. I just don't know how well you can like actually see it in the pan, but I do quite enjoy that color. I think that'll be the next shimmer shade that I actually hit pan on. I just this morning, as I was doing my makeup, hit pan on Copper. And so Copper is a shade that I didn't really know how I was going to use it because it's very dark. It's darker than like what I would typically like a lid color shade to be. It's a really pretty shade. It's just like a shimmer, but I've been using it in my crease, and that's how I'm wearing it today. I absolutely love pairing it with like any pink kind of color that you can imagine. It just looks so good. So I think that I'm really probably, as we are heading into spring, like that's gonna be like my go-to look that I'm gonna be doing is like Copper and pinks, and I'm happy with that. I'm happy to stay right there. I have paired blush a time or two with Copper. Here's blush on the pinky, and it's right here in the pan. It kind of, I guess on camera might be reading a little bit white, but it is actually like a very soft pink shade. I don't know if you'll be able to see it. Let me try to build it up just a little bit more. So there's blush. It does fairly well. My only problem with blush is that it's so soft, so like light colored. It takes so much to build it up and get the effect that you want, and it's kind of a crumbly shade. It's not like when I say soft, I mean like the color of it is very soft, but the formulation isn't soft like some of these other like shimmery shades in here. And it doesn't really matter like what kind of base I have put underneath blush, it just kind of throughout the day fades away. So I'm almost tempted to like maybe just franken it with like another pink shade within my collection and see if that helps it and I can get use out of it that way. I'm not sure though. I'm just gonna like put blush on the back burner for right now and just, use like other pink shades within my collection that I'm really happy with instead of like struggling with this one. And then we also got pan on Cashmere, which I wasn't surprised. There was a huge dip in this shade the last time you guys saw this palette. And Cashmere is just such an easy like go-to lid color for me. It's just like a kind of like, I would describe it as just kind of like a vanilla white, to be honest. It's right here underneath blush. It's really pretty. It looks great with anything. It's just one of those very neutral, like kind of white taupey shades almost. And yeah, it's just very easy and effortless. And then, I don't know how well you'll be able to tell, I went to town on Smokey Topaz. This corner up here is actually cleared out. And Smokey Topaz is just, I think, my favorite shade within this palette. And it's a great lid shade. It's a great crease shade. It's a great just, bathe your body in it shade. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I just have absolutely fallen in love with this. And it looks a little dark in the swatch, but like on the eyes, it's really nice and bright. And I feel like if I have a lighter color like lid shade on my eyes, it helps my eyes to look like more open because they are hooded. And so that's why I don't tend to wear like dark lid colors. So that's why Copper, for instance, doesn't work for me, but like Smokey Topaz is like as dark as I would want to go for like a lid shade. But it's beautiful in the crease. It works the same as Cashmere. Like, it just goes with everything. So I really want to focus in on Copper, but also continue to work on Smokey Topaz and Cashmere. And I'm betting I can maybe have Smokey Topaz done by the next update, and that would be amazing because that would be our first shade that we finished out of this palette, and we're so early on into the year. So great stat line, right? And then we do have pan on Dusty Rose now. So I don't think I had pan on this one last time, and I think I commented that I was really surprised because I was using Dusty Rose so much in my crease. And like the day after I filmed that video, I hit pan on it. So we were right there, just on the brink, and if I had waited like one more day, you would have seen that pan last month. But it's here now, and it's funny because like as soon as I hit pan on it, I kind of like, I don't know, backed off of it. Like I just fell out of love with it. Not like out. Like I'm gonna continue to like use it. It's just, I don't think I've touched it maybe 1 or 2 times this past month. So I just think that that's really funny. That is the downfall, I think, of sometimes panning looks, is that you do get bored and you want to switch it up. And so like this past month in February, I haven't really been doing, like, I've had a lot of similar looks. Like I'll use cashmere a lot on like my lid, right? But I'll throw in like a different crease color or a different like outer V color and things like that. So it's not exactly the same look every time. And I've been enjoying that, but I don't know if I'll continue to pan this palette in that way, where I'm like essentially playing around with it. I think I do better when I'm more focused in panning looks, but then I do tend to get a little bit bored with it. So we'll see. As far as just goals for next time though, I just want to continue to play around with copper, cashmere, and smoky topaz, to be honest. The last shade I'll mention in here is maroon. This is the one that I've been coming to a lot to use to deepen up my outer V. And it's just like a standard brown shade. It's like a chocolate brown. It is a shimmer within this palette, but it's really nice in the outer V. Still no pan on it though. I just, you know, you use so little, and I don't want to really dip my brush into there and get more product and then have like, it looks like I have a black eye, you know. So that is it though, where we are at with our 2-month update, and I hope you guys are very excited. I hope that you are enjoying following along with this. And yeah, I love pan that palette. What can I say? But yeah, I hope you guys are doing well with all of your panning projects, and let me know how you're doing down below. I do watch a lot of you guys on YouTube. I just don't always have time to like comment on every video, and I feel bad. I'm trying to like get better and like set time apart to where I can really like focus in and leave more comments than I do, and like interact more on other people's videos. That's a side tangent, which at least we made it to the end of the video before we got into the side tangent. So let's just end it here on a high note, and I will talk to you guys in the next one. Bye.